Can you explain to the audience everything they need to know about After 7?
After 7, I was in a very vulnerable space, and I feel like I expressed myself differently. I'm still growing. I'm still, learning myself and learning who I want to be as an artist. But I feel like After 7 paved the way for more honesty and vulnerability in my music. And 7 is really my number um, for numerous reasons. Divine timing, for my angels watching over me. And the whole project is really just based around what comes after 7.
Now, do you consider this project an album or a mixtape, perhaps?
I think it's both, kind of. Yeah.
Is there a difference these days between album versus mixtape?
Honestly, I don't think so, because I feel like everybody really just be doing mixtapes. I feel like everybody just be doing EPs or the full-blown album. Because I got 15 songs on there, though, you can consider it maybe an album, but, it's a project to me.
Yes, and you used that word at the beginning of this segment, so didn't know if you considered it something more specific than that.
Mm-hmm.
But why that route, a full-length project? Why not the EP route, something smaller, something shorter?
I don't have enough music out, honestly. I feel like a lot of artists, as long as people have been making music, for me, I've been making music for 5 years, and I feel like I still don't have all the music out there that I want to have out there. So just releasing that long of a project was just so that people could take a deeper dive into my catalog and pick what songs they love the most out of anything I drop.
And when it comes to this title, too, was this a title that you coined or someone coined for you?
It was me. I made it, yeah.
Now, in regards to this body of work, are there any unknown facts or stories that's never been publicly mentioned before? Could be in regards to creating it, recording it, or releasing it.
Booty Pop was a freestyle off the top of my head. Too Bad was a freestyle off the top of my head. I helped produce Too Bad. I helped produce Booty Pop. I helped produce. It's like when you ask me that. Oh, Double It was also a freestyle off the top of my head. I don't know. Like, I think people just wouldn't suspect that about certain songs, but no. Yeah.
And when you use the phrase produce, what do you mean by that more specifically for those in the audience?
I help with like the scientific part of it, like actually like placing the beat and percussion into making the record what it was. I didn't full blown sit there and come up with like full blown production. So shout out to the people that I worked on with, but I did have a hand in creating the song sonically.
Any other secrets, any other Easter eggs, hidden facts nobody knows about After 7, other than what's out there already?
7 Days, 7 Nights is my favorite song because I sung my ass off. And 7 is just my number. I feel like people might know it, but I think a lot of people don't know to depth how deep that number is to me. I lost people, and I seen the number repeatedly. I know it's the same word, but I seen the number constantly, and it kind of just put me in a different space to let me know that God had me on the right path. And even like just divine timing. I feel like every time I saw the number 7, it meant that something good was about to happen, or even if something bad was about to happen, it was just telling me to watch out and pay attention.
You even invested in the number of 7 in the sense of the necklace around your neck, the jewelry.
Yeah.
Which has 3 7s, it looks like.
Yeah.
And care to share the jeweler behind that item there?
Shout out to Jewelers Row in Philadelphia. I went to Golden Nugget, and I got that in there.
And was this something you get before the album, before you name this title of the album, or mixtape, project, whatever phrase there? Or is this something you get afterwards?
I got my chain 7. I had my 7 chain for about 2 years. Yeah, I had my 7 chain for 2 years.
Now, in regards to that favorite song of yours, do you recall who produced that beat?
Yes, Nova Wave and Diamond Cuts.
And also in regards to this project, you do have 2 features as well. Do you have a favorite feature between the 2?
I mean, wait, I have 2 features?
Yes, 2 people featured on the
I only got
track
one. I
list.
only got one feature.
Let's see. Let me fact check that.
I only got one feature.
Double checking.
You trying to tell me something about my track list? I don't know.
Diamonds and Roses with VaporGod and How Could You with Beam.
Oh, well, Diamonds and Roses isn't like, he is actually like the producer of the song. And shout out to VaporGod too. He made that beat and like, he went crazy with the production, but like actually like singing or like rapping and putting vocals on the record, I gotta say Beam. I love that song. How Could You is like one of my favorites.
Got it. All right. Now, can you give the audience 5 reasons to listen to this project?
It's honest. It's versatile. It's me, which is raw and just Philly. It's fun and it make you want to dance.
Any bonus reasons?
I think that this project is just special to me. So anybody who want to know anything about me can listen to this project and kind of step into my world, you know?
And true or false, there's a documentary for this as well?
Yes, true.
And can you explain a little bit about that and where those in the audience can find that as well?
It's on my YouTube channel. And the documentary was shot well before we even knew like After 7 was like the name of the project or any of that. We were shooting like all that content for at least a year, I think. And I work with the same people that I've been working with. So my videographer had like footage of me from way back when, and we just kind of pieced it all together. Because around that time, I was preparing to put out After 7. I just didn't know that it was for After 7. I don't know if that makes sense.
And care to share the channel name on YouTube as well?
Yeah, it's Bankz.
Now, you also have other items of jewelry during this interview as well. Can you break down any of the meanings or jewelers or any of that sort of?
Big Bankz, this chain was actually the first chain that I bought myself. I bought the 7s after I bought the Big Bankz chain. And it's just like, my manager always been he been calling me Big Bankz since I started. I always just went by Bankz, but he been calling me Big Bankz from the beginning, so I put it on the chain. And I actually started calling myself that after he started calling me that. And then this watch is a G-Shock. One of my friends got it for me. Shout out to Nair. And this is a Pandora bracelet that I got myself. I love Pandora. Shout out to Icebox. I got this jewelry from them. It matches my heart chain. And then I got a heart ring and a money sign ring for Bankz. And then I got my Louis V bracelet and my Bankz bracelet that one of my fans gave me when I was performing. It was like, Lay, grab it. And I wear it every day. So this is probably my favorite thing that I got on.
And care to share the cost of any of these items at the time?
I ain't dropping no calls. just know, like, come on, I'm Big Bankz.
And just for transparency, your manager is off camera to the side of you during this interview. Now, you did mention God here in this portion of questions. Do you follow a religion by any chance?
I'm spiritual. I believe in God. I believe in the law. I believe in a higher power. And I think it's just self-explanatory for anybody. If you know me, you know.
And was this how you were raised or something you chose?
I was raised in Orthodox Christianity. And I was baptized, I think, when I was maybe 10. I decided to get baptized. My mom was always very open to me exploring in religion and finding myself. But my mom was Orthodox Christian. My whole side of my Eritrean family is Orthodox Christian. And then majority of my dad's family is Muslim. So I kind of got the best of both worlds, and I got to really learn about both of them.
Now, on the music side of things, want to continue with that conversation there. All right. Now, just on Spotify alone, as of this interview, 16.1 million monthly listeners on that platform. 494th in the world. What does that feel like?
Feels good. I feel blessed. I'm fortunate to have everything that I got, and I work for this. So it means something to me differently. I think a lot of people don't really care about, if people hear them or not. But when you work for something and you get to a certain point, it just feel like you're getting a return.
And again, that's the world, not just the United States, well past that. And also in regards to your songs on that platform, I'm just going to go through a few of them here. Tell Your Girlfriend, 168 million listens. Ick, 84 million. Nah Nah Nah, 46 million. Sloppy Seconds, Ick Part 2, 22 million. And Would You is approaching 1 million as well. What is the key to all these metrics here? What's the secret for you? There's people that put their music on this platform and they struggle to get 1,000 plays, 10,000 plays, 100,000 plays. You continue to hit millions after millions after millions on multiple songs.
I don't think it's no real secret. It's just about consistency, and if you believing in something, you gotta convince everybody else to believe in it, because you gotta understand that the world is bigger than just you. Like, me on this humongous planet, I'm literally just one person, and it's so many people who got Spotify, so many people that got Apple Music, and it's so many people with different favorites, different people that they want to listen to every day. And it's my job as an artist to convince them why they should listen to me.
Now, zooming out, whether the metrics show it or not, what do you consider at this point to be your biggest song?
Definitely Tell Your Girlfriend.
And is that based on the metrics or impact, or how do you judge that?
Just impact. Impact for sure. I feel like Tell Your Girlfriend kind of paved the way for everything that is going on right now. But I think every record that I've had even before that was a moment. Like you said, Nah Nah Nah, Sloppy Seconds, and Ick, and, so on and so forth. I feel like every song that I've dropped put me into another space that opened up the door for the next song.
Now, in regards to this song in particular, are there any unknown facts or stories as well, never publicly mentioned before in regards to it?
It's written about a girl. It's a DJ Smallz exclusive.
Any other unknown facts
Nah.
or stories in regards to this, never publicly mentioned before? Now, did you know when you were creating, recording, or releasing this song that it was going to be one of your biggest, if not the biggest in your catalog of music?
I did. I definitely did. After creating it, I was like, yo, this song is going to be humongous. It's just a feeling that I get every time I make the next big thing for me. I always know that that song is going to be like the one.
And thinking back, what specifically do you think led this song to get as far as it has today? Was there one key thing with it in particular?
I think probably just the fact how controversial the topic is. One of my strengths that I discovered is being able to talk about something that's a touchy topic, talking about it so fluidly, and just not being afraid to speak up on it, but still making it sound good where people don't even realize what I'm talking about. They just want to dance.
And in regards to this song, was there a remix to it?
Is there one now?
Yes.
There just might be.
All right. All right, moving forward here, do want to ask you this set of questions. Now, what is the biggest misconception of you at this point?
Biggest misconception of me at this point?
What's a wrong or inaccurate idea people may have about you?
Probably that I'm older than what I am. I'm only 20. I think everybody think I'm like 25 or something. But I'm really a fucking youngin' out this joint.
And care to share your birthday while you're at it? The month and the day, perhaps.
6/11/2004.
And craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor I heard about myself. Huh? Oh, yeah, that I got a BBL. That was crazy. That was wild, for sure. I think they think I, like, just leveled up and I just had to go get something crazy. But that actually just surfaced. Like, that's probably the craziest shit somebody said about me recently.
Now, in regards to this particular rumor, is that true?
Fuck no. I'm just eating my oats, man.
And just setting the record straight and asking you directly, but was this something you've publicly addressed previously, or is this the first time?
This is the first time I said this.
And how did that rumor start?
They seen my butt for the first time online. Not like it got leaked or nothing, but I had wore some like real shorts, and I don't really wear, like I'm more of like a baggy clothes type of girl. So like the first time they ever seen me and something like that, I was performing, and one of the pictures was from a back angle, and when they seen it, they was like, "Oh my God, Lay got a BBL. Lay butt, when your butt get like that." But in reality, my body has always been like kind of like that, because if you see my mom, you can understand like it's just in my genes, but
And where was
figuratively and literally.
and where was this video posted? What social media platform?
I think it's Instagram.
And for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share your screen name on IG as well?
My Instagram is Bankz with a Z, LayBankz. My TikTok is the Bankz with a Z at the end, and my Twitter is Bankers with 2 R's and a Z.
And those are your most frequently used platforms?
Yes, and YouTube, of course.
And you mentioned that previously in another portion of questions, but just in case those are tuning in just to this portion instead, care to share that channel name as well?
Bankz, LayBankz.
And just stating all these because there may be scam pages about you and things of that nature, so
Definitely.
putting those in the audience on the official pages there. But when you were posting that, because as you already previously mentioned, you're used to the baggy look and things of that nature, when you posted that, did you have a feeling before posting that it might break the internet, so to speak, and get people talking in that nature?
No, honestly, because like I don't really pay too much attention to what people say about me, or I don't really feed into that nonsense, and I'm also not very like provocative. So the fact people was just all the comments was about my butt, I was like, oh shit. I didn't think it was gonna go there, but that was crazy.
Now, you mentioned this policy, it sounds like, where you sweep it under the rug, let people talk, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You don't really address things. Have you always been like that, or you grew into that mentality?
I definitely grew into it. I feel like when I was younger and I first started music, I kind of let people get to me. And I think that's because I wasn't used to everybody speaking on me and what I had going on, and I think rumors and shit like that. But as I got older, I just started not caring, because like it's like these people don't know me from a can of paint anyway, and the internet is free, so people gonna talk.
And just to further the discussion here, how far have you gone for beauty at this point?
What you mean?
Have you had any work done? Obviously no BBL, but have you had anything done?
Nothing.
And when you were accused of a BBL, did you take that as disrespect at all, or maybe a compliment in a strange way?
I ain't take it as disrespect. I just kind of laughed, because it's like, the fact that y'all think I got a BBL just mean this ass really getting fat.
Now, zooming out, what is your opinion on cosmetic procedures?
I think it's your body, and you should do what you want with it.
Have you ever considered one yourself?
No.
Are you open to any in the future, or are you totally against it for you personally?
For me personally, I'm not getting no surgery done.
And why that mentality for you?
I think because I'm like comfortable in my skin. I love my body as is. And I also think when you get surgery too young and when you get older, it don't look as good. And that's just the truth. Like, because you didn't let your body fully form. So I think if anybody is going to get surgery, or if you're thinking about it, just consider waiting until your body is fully grown into what it was supposed to be as a woman. Because you don't know what your body going to look like when you, however old.
Now, when it comes to questions, is there a question you receive you dislike getting asked? Something you can't stand to answer, perhaps? Maybe it's a repetitive question, something you receive all the time.
When people ask me if I used to be a stud, I think that's like, obviously, like, it's so obvious. If you know me, if you know my history, if you see me on TikTok, whatever the case may be, you know what the fuck is good with me. Ain't shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even think I take it as like an annoying thing. It just be like, that's something that people always ask me, and it's like they know the answer. They just want me to feed into it.
Well, for those that might just be getting to know you for the very first time, care to share your sexual orientation? Point blank.
I like what I like, and it ain't nobody goddamn business.
Anything else in regards to your sexuality?
Nope.
Now, when it comes to questions, have people questioned your height?
Yeah, people question my height a lot. I think people either say they expected me to be taller or they expected me to be shorter when they see me in person.
Care to share what that numeric figure actually is?
I'm 5'4" or 5'5", somewhere in between there.
And with that, are you the tallest as far as females in your immediate family?
No, my sister's taller than me.
And is she an older sister or younger sister?
Older.
For those in the audience, getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was born in Philadelphia.
And care to share where you were raised as well?
I was raised in Southwest.
And that's also in Philly?
Southwest Philly.
And does it get any more specific than that for you?
Welland Avenue, King Sesson, Chester Ave, like, that was my playground for real.
And do you still reside in Philly today?
No, I do not.
Care to share where you reside these days?
Across the country from there.
Which you mentioned recently on your social media platform, Instagram.
Yeah.
Which was very recent. You showed the keys to something new, if not mistaken here. And was that actually when you physically move in? When you showed the keys, or was that?
I was already out the city.
Okay.
But, you know.
So for you, what age were you when you officially left Philly?
I was still 19.
Okay.
But that was just when I posted that I moved.
And what was the reason for the move for you?
You gotta change your environment if you want to grow.
And just being raised in the Southwest area, as you previously described, what age range do you think that was for you in your life? Just in that specific area?
From when I was born, I mean, pretty much my whole life. Like, my mom moved around, but my family, like, resides. And, like, that's where everybody was at for real for me in Southwest, so.
Now, as fresh as that move has been for you, I do want to ask you some questions about Philly. Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but can you give the audience 5 tips for those visiting Philly?
Don't throw up no gang signs. Stay away from Kensington. If you want a good cheesesteak, go to the Poppy store. And what's one more thing I could say? Oh, people really don't know how to drive in Philly. So, like, just be careful because you get in a car accident anywhere out there, John.
Have you been involved in one?
Yeah, I've been in a couple accidents in a video. Shut up, bro. They laughing at me.
Now, speaking of Philly, okay, and those cheesesteaks, did you indulge in cheesesteaks yourself?
Of course, I love cheesesteaks.
And you mentioned the Poppy store. Is that slang for a certain type of
I
location?
guess it is slang for like Philly. I don't really hear nobody else say that. I think in New York they call it the bodega, right? And then like I don't know where else they might have them type of corner store, but we got stores on every corner in Philly. So like we call them the Poppy stores.
So, like a corner store, convenience store?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you order yours?
I get if all right, I might get a chicken cheesesteak, a salmon cheesesteak, or a regular cheesesteak. It's really rare that I'm gonna get a regular cheesesteak. I'm either go for chicken or salmon. If I get a chicken cheesesteak, I'm gonna get salt, pepper, mayo, extra cheese, fried onions, hot peppers, and a little bit of hot sauce. And if I get the same salmon cheesesteak, I'm gonna get the same thing. And you got toasted bread. You don't be all that.
Now, have you ever made them at home?
Nah, I ain't get that far yet.
Have you ever tried a Philly cheesesteak out of town?
Hell no. I'm from the Biddy. We don't do shit like that.
Now, have you ever, and winding down the questions here about cheesesteaks, have you ever tried other variations of a Philly cheesesteak? As in Philly cheesesteak egg rolls,
Oh, yes. Egg rolls be so good. Of course, yes.
Philly cheesesteak sliders,
Yes. Oh, my gosh. That sounds good as shit. I had that before, too.
Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Oh, no. Don't get that far. Don't get that far.
Two more. I'm not done. Philly cheesesteak pasta.
Ew. Who eating that? Y'all eating that? No.
Philly cheesesteak casserole.
That sound wild.
And any other variation that wasn't mentioned here that you've seen.
No, I think just probably the sliders or the egg rolls is more my vibe.
These are real. These are searchable on YouTube, and
That's wild.
these
Some
are
of them
out
joints
there.
is
So just
wild.
curious if you've now when it comes to the egg rolls and the sliders, was there a certain destination you tried those at?
I think they just be kind of like, it's like running gun places in Philly that you can just go to. I don't really know nowhere specific off the top of my head, but I done been to a couple different spots.
Anything else you want to mention about Philly cheesesteak zooming out, or question you weren't asked? People want to know just about that.
If you get a cheesesteak, a Philly cheesesteak from anywhere other than Philly, you a dickhead, because that shit ain't gonna taste right, young boy. Trust me. That shit ass, Duke. Go to the Biddy.
Now, who or what motivates you at this point?
Probably like the people closest to me, like my family, and just like the young supporters that look up to me. And I want to say that because my family and the people closest to me, like I look at my manager as family too, just to throw that in there. But they motivate me because I feel like they're giving me everything. They like, it's people that have watched me from the beginning grow into something way bigger, and they still look at me the same. And it don't matter what changes in my life or what happens for me, they still love me the same, and it's still unconditionally. And I think it's just a different type of grind and hustle when the people around you believe in you, and they believed in you from the beginning. And just as for my like young supporters, they motivate me because I feel like they give me a reason to get up every day and be like, yo, I gotta keep going.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but there may be someone in this audience who needs some motivational words or encouragement themselves right now. Can you give them any?
If you half-ass believe in yourself, you're only gonna go half-ass far. And if you half-ass dedicate yourself, you only gonna go half-ass far. So it's just, don't give up. Fuck what anybody think about you. And commit yourself to anything that you believe you want to do. And that's how you're going to get it done.
Now, what's your definition of a friend?
Loyalty, respect, values, and just realism. I think friends don't be real. So,
How do you spot the real ones from the fake ones?
those three things: loyalty, respect, and just values. Like, you don't care about the hype and the other shit. Like, what you care about is me as a person, and you care about our connection and our bond with one another. That's what's most important to me in a friend.
Now, as soon as you notice one of these characteristics is off, is it a zero tolerance policy for you where you cut someone off right away? Or do you give a person the benefit of the doubt, so to speak? Give them a chance to redeem themselves?
I would be lying if I said that I don't give people a chance of redemption. Because I do. But that's just how I love and how I care. But I am starting to get to the point where if a motherfucker do some weird shit to me, you out the door.
Do you have a best friend?
Yeah.
Care to share who that is?
I got a couple best friends. I got a group of them.
Do you want to shout any of their names?
They know who they are.
And is that possible, one to have multiple best friends on an equal level playing field?
Definitely. I think when you care about somebody and y'all got a certain type of relationship, but you could share a different kind of relationship with another person, but it's still just as meaningful to you. And y'all still, like, I might have a guy best friend or a girl best friend or a girl that I met however long ago, but that's really my best friend. They all still my best friends. It don't make a difference, but it's not like I'm walking around just calling randoms my best friends.
What about musically speaking? Do you have a best friend in that environment itself?
Kenny Blake.
And is that the name of your manager?
Yeah.
Who's off camera to the side of you during this interview again? Yeah. Now, you've mentioned him on multiple occasions here, so let's just break that down a little bit. How did you two meet?
Such a crazy story. I was walking in his barbershop where my little brother get his hair cut, and I was taking him to get his hair cut. And Kenny happened to own that shop. When I walked in, he stopped me and was like, I'm going to manage you. And I only had put out one song, and I just looked at him like, the fuck? I was like, okay. And I just walked upstairs, and I said, all right. And I walked upstairs, and I went to go mess with my brother. And then when I came back down the steps, he was like, yo, like, I really like that song that you just put out. And it was the only song that I had out. It had like 300 views. And his sons actually showed him the song. Thank God for them. So they actually showed him the song and was like, yo, like, this is this girl. Because I was friends with his sons. And he was like, yeah, it's this girl. She make music, whatever. And he was like, yo, if you really about it and it's really what you want to do, sing in front of everybody in the shop right now. And it's a 3-story shop, so there's people upstairs, in the middle floor where I was at, and downstairs. And I started singing, and people was coming from the upstairs, people was coming from the downstairs, and everybody stopped cutting hair. It was like a fucking movie. Like, people in the barber chairs got the John skis on, and they jumping out the chairs just trying to see who's singing. And when I was done, everybody in the shop started clapping, and it was just like a moment. That was 5 years ago.
So you were about 15, 16 maybe, somewhere around?
I was 15.
15. And Kenny, had he managed artists previously before this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long before you actually let him manage you? Because it's one thing to state that, right? Hey, I want to manage you, but then to let someone of that nature actually manage you, how long before you let that take place?
We kind of built like a real organic bond and just kind of got to know each other. And we just realized who we was as people. And the business was a factor. Like, we was moving around. We was still going places and meeting people. And he had me in different rooms. But we ain't really start, like, studio sessions and all that other serious shit until, like, I think 3 months after. Yeah. Yeah, like 3-4 months.
Now, what's Kenny really like?
He a dope guy, and he's a lover, and he really cares about shit. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that about Kenny, and whoever wronged him and whoever is a weirdo towards him or whatever the case may be, you just don't know him as a person. Like, to know Kenny is to know that he's an absolutely amazing person.
And what's the best advice you received from him thus far, or most important thing you learned being around him?
Resilience. He'd be like, fuck them people, like, you gotta keep going.
And for clarification, was that advice you were given or something you learned?
Something I learned, but also from him, he definitely instilled that within me.
And also, the title of that song, your first song, can you share that for the audience as well in case they want to go back and check that out?
Passion. And it came out 10/19/2019.
Now, Kenny, you're not mic'd up but can still be heard. Can you fact check what Lay just said about you? Any rebuttal to what she said?
I agree 1,000%.
All right. Now, speaking of these tattoos, and you just pointed out to one of them here. Several tattoos on your body, but no facial tattoos. What is your opinion on face tats?
Like, on my actual face?
Yes.
I don't think I need that. I feel like I'm pretty, and, like, if I added a tattoo on my face, it would take away from me. I think, once again, this goes back to, like, surgery and stuff like that. It's your body. Do what you want to do with it. Who can tell you what the fuck to do with your body? But me, personally, I just want to get a face tattoo.
Have you ever been tempted?
Hell no.
And is that never ever for you?
Never, ever.
Now, it's 2024. What's your opinion on those that have absolutely no tattoos on their body?
I mean, once again, it's your body. Do what you want to do with it. Like, me personally, I love tattoos. Like, my whole arm is basically done. It's like spacey. I just got this done. It's kind of messed, like, dry. But it's your body. Do what you want to do with it. Like, if you want to get a full-blown sleeve, you want to get your leg done, if you want to get a face tat, whatever, it's your body. But me personally, I'm a tattoo girly for sure.
And which was the very first one, historically speaking?
My very first, I got a tattoo right here. That's an infinity sign. This is my first tattoo ever.
And do you recall what age at the time?
I think I was 15. I snuck and got it. I'm sorry, Mom.
And were you the youngest in age with a tattoo back then in that area?
Of course not. It was definitely like a bunch of people that I knew that had tattoos for sure.
How young were they getting them back then? You were 15, but what were
Maybe
they?
about the same age as me, but like I knew people maybe like 14, maybe like 13 with tattoos. There's a lot of people that just be getting dumb tattoos. Like,
You snuck and got this done from a professional tattoo artist or an amateur?
I'ma say an amateur, cause I don't wanna, you know.
Now, when did your parents find out about this very first tattoo?
My mom never found out about this tattoo. Actually, she still don't even know about this drawing. I'ma just, you see it. There you go, Mom. She actually never knew about that tattoo.
2024, June 14th is the first time she'll notice this.
Yeah.
You've kept it hidden for that long. 5 years.
I don't even think I really kept it hidden. I feel like because the first time that my mom ever seen me with a tattoo was these 7s right here. And I got these a little after I got this, so I probably was like 16, 17. And when she seen this, it was just a common thing. Like, we both knew, like, Dad was out of pocket. Don't go get no more tattoos. But she ain't really, like, trip on me or nothing because I didn't get no crazy tattoos.
And the infinity sign, what's the meaning behind that?
Just to keep going forever.